Hi there, Superwomen. Now let's face it, we're on the run, we're on the go. We want some healthy snacks because sometimes there's just not time to sit down and have that meal. So here's what happens. I don't know if it happens to you, it definitely happens to me. We reach for maybe a bag of chips or some other salty snack to take care of that crunch that we're craving or that salt craving that we have, because honestly, we all have some level of adrenal fatigue. I'm here to show you a couple of Superwoman snacks that are so easy to make and you can carry them with you wherever you go. We're gonna start with the Zucchini Fries, which by the way are in my 10-day jumpstart. I don't know if you guys have checked this out, but this is a great resource for just some quick recipes if you want a refresher on some of the things you're doing, whether it's a smoothie, a snack, a meal, all that other good stuff. So let's start with zucchinis. We have fiber. It's a vegetable, not a potato. So we know we're getting a certain amount of good antioxidants and all the other great things that vegetables will bring. So what I've done here, we've already got our chopped up zucchini. I'm gonna go ahead and whisk this egg because I'm gonna coat the zucchini in a little bit of this egg. So let's go ahead and get that started here. So we're gonna put this egg in here, whisk it a little bit more. You guys have done this before, you know what that looks like. And then I'm just dumping in my chopped zucchini. Super easy to do. And then next, let's go ahead and add in the all-purpose flour, a gluten-free flour, which works for my family. So we're gonna mix that, mix it till everything's nice and coated. Hopefully you guys can see that in there. And again, you can play with amounts of the zucchini. You can make a whole batch and store it. You can make just a little bit for a day or an afternoon snack, totally up to you. But then to that, I like to season and flavor things. We like a lot of flavor in our family. But I'm gonna go ahead and add some salt. I've got sea salt here and I'm just giving this a few turns. You can salt it to your liking. You can add a little bit of black pepper as well. So I've got that going in here and I'm gonna add more of this. I add about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon because everybody in our family likes that spicier taste to it. And paprika is one of my favorite spices. I feel like I use it in everything and people are probably getting tired of it, but you can use about a teaspoon or so of paprika or just shake it to as much as you would like to have in there. But again, all of this gives it flavor and texture and a little bit of a sort of zing to it, so to speak. So it's not just like you're eating chopped up vegetables, right? So we're gonna mix all that together and then it's easy to do the next step where I've got this parchment paper laid out. I've got my baking sheet. All I'm doing is pouring it directly on there. Easy, easy. Probably your family, anyone in your family could do this. This is so easy. And this is something you could do while you're doing other stuff in the kitchen too. So as many of you know, I'm a big batch cooker and I'll do like 4 things at one time, but this is something you can have going while you're working on another recipe. So I'm sticking those in the oven at 400 degrees. We're gonna give it probably about 10 to 15 minutes to get it crispy, and we'll take them out and see what they look and taste like in just a minute. Moving on from that, what other Superwoman snacks might you be able to have that you don't have to maybe chop and prep and cook, right? I know you're asking me that question. Well, how about just a little bit of granola? So I've got 2 different granolas here. This one's a pumpkin, this is a vanilla almond, and let's take a look at the protein. So here we've got about 6 grams of protein. That's not bad, and about 3/4 cup or so of granola, which we have measured out. Whenever you can sneak the protein and the fiber in, that is the key. So ditch the chips, right? Add things like granola, ditch the ice cream, ditch all those foods that are not giving you protein, good fat, or fiber. That's what we've got to have locked in here. So it's almost like when you're starting to get hungry or stressed and you're having those cravings, take a deep breath in and think through, what could I possibly have that would give me protein, fat, or fiber? Try granola, and then you can mix granola too with a couple of nuts or things like that to keep you full and satisfied for 4 hours. Remember, our rule of snacking is we shouldn't really be snacking, really should not be eating more frequently than every 3 to 4 hours. So keep that in mind as well. All right, more Superwoman snacks. We can never get enough of these, right? So the next one is interesting. I love Parmesan cheese. I'm not gonna lie, and yes, I'm supposed to be dairy-free, but this is one that doesn't really bother my stomach. And believe it or not, a serving of Parmesan cheese, roughly about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, has about 2 grams of protein. I didn't even think it had that much, but it does. Okay, to beat those salt cravings that so many of you Superwomen have because you're busting it all the time, here's a fun hack. Instead of potato chips, instead of convenience and packaged foods because you want that taste in your mouth, we're gonna make cheese crisp out of Parmesan cheese. And so I've got some grated cheese right here. And by the way, if you are dairy free, I recently learned that there is a vegan Parmesan cheese as well. It's not as high in protein, but if you're trying to satisfy sort of your cheese craving, it may be an alternative for you as well, and really follow the same steps. Okay, so this is super easy. We just grated this Parmesan cheese. All I'm doing next is taking a clump, literally a clump, nothing more specific than that. And we're gonna make a couple of these clumps. Let's do about 4 or 5 of them. And they're gonna turn into these little crispy nuggets that you can, again, take with you. You know, if we're traveling or if you're running around, we haven't been doing a whole lot of that recently, but if you're traveling a bunch, then this is a great snack to take instead of going and buying that bag of potato chips or something along those lines. All right, so I'm gonna stick this directly in the oven, and we're gonna give it just a minute or 2 and see what we get here. That's gonna be our cheese crisp snack. And again, it is in the 10-day jumpstart, so you can check out the recipe here as well. All right, superstars, we just pulled the cheese crisp out of the oven. Look at these. How yummy does this look? I cannot wait. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and nibble on it right now. I bet they're delicious. And they are. Now, the zucchini fries, don't forget about those. And remember, it doesn't have to just be zucchini. You can use carrots, asparagus, beets, whatever you'd like to use, and use the exact same technique. Look how good this looks. Absolutely delicious. They're too hot for me to taste right now, but again, I can stick them in a little baggie or foil and carry it with me wherever I go. Super easy, Superwoman Snacks. Keep yourself super powered to make it through your day and do all the things that you are meant to do.